Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Iyun. Today we're analyzing Maasros Perikei Mishnah Vav. Mishnah talks about wine production. When you produce wine, when you produce a rosé wine, you soak it in the you soak uh, here it's a diluted wine where you're soaking water in the grape peels. Um, Normally, wine, take the grape juice and you put it in the purple grape peels. You keep it there for a long time, so you red wine. You keep it there for a short time, it's rosé wine, a light red wine. Um, Here you're putting water in it, and you want to get a mixture of water, a diluted type of wine. So so the rule of thumb is you have 3 parts. If you put in 3 ounces of water onto these peels, and you end up, now you measure, now you have 4 ounces. That's already considered to be 1/4 is significant enough, and it's considered now wine. It's not considered water; it's considered wine, and chayav in trumos and maasros. If it's less, it's half an ounce. You put in 3 ounces, and they have 3.5 ounces, or 3.9999 ounces. It doesn't make a difference. You only have 4 ounces, so it's not chayav in trumos and maasros because it's considered water and not wine. Now, the problem arises over here, even though normally we say Taam ke'ikar, meaning even has the taste of wine, right? It's 3.99 ounces. Tastes like wine. However, it doesn't have that ratio of 1/4 wine in it. Can't call it wine. Why don't we say Taam ke'ikar? Normally, you need shisha to mavad. Here, all you need is, a little more than, three, a little less than 3/4, right? If it's 1/4 wine, then it's already considered wine, but less than 1/4, right? So then it's already considered water. So why don't we assume that it's definitely less than shishim, right? It should be that you have 60, even 1 to 59, right? 59 parts water and 1 part wine should be considered wine. Why not? About the Taam ke'ikar. It's all rice that works as Taam ke'ikar. It tastes like, as the Rav says, even though it tastes like wine, it doesn't make a difference. Why? Why do you want to say Taam ke'ikar over here? Because I want to explain the fundamental yesod over here. There's a investigation and analyzation when it comes to Tevel, which we talked about is produce, which is chayav in truma, so you haven't taken it off. Do we say the truma is kilo already there? Even though you haven't mafresh truma samaishos, Tevel already has basically truma mixed into it. And therefore, if a zar, the nafkamina of a zar, a non-Jew would eat from this Tevel, would he be chayav misa b'dei shamayim? A zar Yisrael eats from truma. If you were mafresh truma, eats truma, so it's chayav misa b'dei shamayim. And a Kohen can't eat truma while he's tameh. So do we consider the Tevel to be already, like, trumas mice were taken off or not? So I think you have to learn from this halakha that one of the stadim, the correct side to say over here, the correct opinion over here is that Tevel is not exactly truma. It's not like truma already was taken off. It's not pesicha be, the way the Achronim describes. It's not mixed in already over here. From the very fact there's no Taam ke'ikar, because if there was truma in here, so once you have truma, so truma is an isser in the Torah. You can't eat truma if you're not a Kohen. So chayav misa b'dei shamayim. So it would be Taam ke'ikar would be the barometer over here. However, since Tevel is merely just a status now that has that you're chayav in trumas and ma'asos, and maybe there's an isser of Baal Ta'acher, a lav of Baal Ta'acher, and maybe there's a lav in the Torah Yishunin Tevel. However, it's not truma. It's not a chefsa of ifser. It's not a thing of Isser. It's not its own thing. It's just a mitzvah to take off Trumas and Maisos. It's not actual Isser. The devil's not Usser by itself. It's not an entity by itself. It's just now it represents a chi of Trumas and Maisos. Maybe if you don't take off Trumas and Maisos, you violate a lav in the Torah, but it's not its own entity, shall Isser. It's not Usser. So therefore, there's no Taam ke'ikar, right? So therefore, even if you have 1 part water and 1 part wine and 3 parts water, so you already would be chayiv. You already be chayiv in trumos and ma'asros. If you have less than that, then you pater in trumos and ma'asros, even though you have the tam, but it's still considered water. We just look at what is this considered? Is it considered water or wine? We don't reckon in the taste, even though it does taste like wine. It doesn't make a difference because here we're talking about a chiv of hafrashas trumos and ma'asros. Tevel is not trumos and ma'asros yet. And therefore it's just Tevel, which is not an Isser. It's not a Chef Social Isser. It's not an entity of Isser. And therefore there's no sin Taam ke'ikar over here when it comes to Tevel. I hope you enjoyed today's share. See you in the next one.